Yeah, so slocky about that. But yeah, anyway, so the Lord said He was going to give us that He was going to give us that the language. And it's that another be able to call on Him on one consent. So the elect is going to be able to, but these 2/3 are not. They're not going to have it. So they're going to be destroyed because of it. So anyway, with that all having been said, let me get to this next scripture. Where are we going? Where am I going? Okay, because like I said, they didn't discontinue from the heritage. So see, they got all this stuff at work. I'm gonna pull up a thing for that, pull up a thing for him, and then pull all of this back again, flip it back around on top of each other, and then call it a day. Okay, so now going to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. So she bragging about going to work and doing all this shit. So see, she don't even understand this part of it. Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So see, she shouldn't even have to be out there in that mode, you know, doing a damn thing, and this, that, and other. But like I said, she's under these curses. We all are under these curses, including the elect. Jeremiah was told that he was going to even be under the curses. I forget who he was, but he would be back. So Jeremiah on the planet now, Jeremiah is back in the fold, understanding the names and everything else. Okay, this truth sitting and ringing true for him as well. Okay, but see, these 2/3 women are not. So they bragging about shit that goes totally against and not even understanding that they under a curse in the process. So the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not eventually set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Okay, and I don't. Okay, and I mean that in the sense that all this male hardness and shit that these females have to walk around in, and especially in our communities, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, all this fucking hardness and whatnot. Cause see, they going back to Eve though, wanting to be the head, not wanting to be the follower. Okay, so they want to branch out and do this and whatnot. Like I said, and this shit is turning on them now. Okay, she bragging on her job, he bragging on his job. They bragging on slavery. What kind of shit is that? Okay, her eye will be evil toward her husband of her bosom and toward her son and toward her daughter. So she's got the evil eye on the things that's supposed to be the closest to her husband, her son, and her daughter. Okay, and whatnot. But then she'll bow down and talk sweet and whatnot and decent to her boss at the job. You know, they dress all provocatively if they got the figure to pull it off. They dress all provocatively going to the job. You going to a job and whatnot where you doing coding and all this other kind of shit or whatever the case might be. But you got a voluptuous ass body and you showing all your curves and whatnot. Motherfucker see you got big tits and a decent figure, a pretty flat stomach, and this, that, and the other. This is how you want to go to the job and whatnot. This, that, and the other. You know, all this shit. Okay, for what? You don't understand? You're under slavery? No, you don't. You've been emancipated. So your slavery was transferred, and you've been told that you got to. The scripture says if you don't work, you don't eat. But like I said, but you're working for the motherfuckers that you're supposed to have rule over, but you don't. So they're above your ass. So okay, so now, as a matter of fact, let me go and get that next scripture because I'm not gonna make this long. This ain't gonna be long. Go to Revelation. Because, see, we was rulers at one point in time. These motherfuckers have no clue about none of this. Revelation, the 20th chapter. Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw the angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So see, we ruled parts of Europe and things of this nature. There was some wicked ass jakes that wound up, because you had the Roman Empire, then you had the Holy Roman Empire. Those were some wicked ass jakes that had that rule. Okay, you had the dog gauges from like 300, 325 A.D. to about 1300 A.D. 1,000 years of ownership, reigning. Okay, this, that, and the other. So we can't even fathom that. Okay, came out. The Edomites started coming out of slavery about the mid 1300s or so. I'm not slavery, coming out of the Caucasus Mountains where he was ran off into, and this, that, and the other, and start getting his reign back, being put back into power, so he can have the kind of power that he's got right now. Okay, going back to 1704. So we discontinued from our heritage because when they came out this time around, they stripped us of everything. When they came out during the 1400s, 1500s, and this, that, and the other, stripped us of everything. Taught the so-called the so-called natives, which was the Northern Kingdom. They stripped the Hebrew language from them and taught them Spanish. Then they brought us over here and stripped the Hebrew language from us and taught us English. Okay, two bastardized languages. Okay. And so she bragging about what it is that she got, but she's supposed to be all tender and delicate and whatnot. Calling the shots on slaves and whatnot, which is what our women will be doing in the kingdom. They'll be calling shots on motherfucking the help in the house and this, that, and other, and all this other kind of shit. They gonna be calling them shots, but niggas have no clue as to that and what brings that about or whatever, and how that's gonna come about. Okay, and then like I said, he bragging, not understanding this. Deuteronomy 28. The stranger that is within thee shall get thee above the very height, shall come down very low. So he's ready, but he ready to try to get through his therapy and whatnot. He wants the paycheck. He wants the payday of the therapy, but he wants to get back to work so he can start making that overtime too. See how fucked up he is? See? Okay, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. This motherfucker is the tail, don't even know it. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because they hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Like the day is the Shabbat. Okay. The day is the last part of Shabbat. It came in Thursday night, going out Friday night, but then this weekend is going to go, so it's a double. So you're going into Friday night to Saturday night. That's what you're going Thursday night to Friday night, and then Friday night to Saturday night, or are we doing Saturday night to Sunday night? Might be a day in between that. Right now that I think about it, might be a day in between it. So it might be Saturday night to Sunday night, this type of thing. So yeah, I think that is it. 14th. Today is the 13th, so the 14th, yeah. So it's a day in between it. Okay, so this is the last day of the Shabbat. You got a new moon, and then the scenario jumps off Saturday night to Sunday night. Okay, you think they trying to figure all this out and keep track of this, so they know what days the Shabbat is and whatnot, or they just doing the Friday night to Saturday night or the Saturday night to Sunday night without it moving. So they're not even observing that law of how to track the time. So we'll keep the commandments, see? So we're back to this. 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. See what I'm saying? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. So now, what do you have? You have motherfuckers bragging about slavery. Because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies. So he's ready to go back to work and break his back. and whatnot, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. So he got to go and put these hours in for this chump change, okay, so that he can buy the things with a currency that ain't even currency because it's not gold or silver. So he's got a Federal Reserve note that is a cost on debt because he can't take it to the bank and get gold or silver for it. Okay, all right. So for one of all things, that he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Iron, neck. Back to this picture, huh? Okay. Back to this picture. All right. I apologize to a brother. He told me I didn't need to. But anyway, so if y'all see that, y'all saw that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much going to end it right there and whatnot because she don't understand her role and where she's supposed to be at. Okay. So everything being everything with that, like I said, they don't even understand how this is supposed to be going. And that brings the scripture to mind too. Let me go and get this real quick. Go get the scripture and I'm gonna end it on this one here. No vision. 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. See, so they have no vision. They're not able to read these words and understand what the world is going to have to go through to get to that part or to get to the good part, as it says, the old song saying, when we go get to the good part, us being in rulership forever, in uh, uh, extraterrestrial bodies, not celestial, not terrestrial, but extraterrestrial. Why? Because the Lord's going to give powers in the process. Being an Israelite's going to grant you certain powers, okay? And these types of things. And 144,000 definitely going to be the apex in the process of that. Simple as that, easy as that. So that I hope that's uplifting an exhortation for the elect, the hopeful elect, to keep pushing, push through. Don't let nothing that you see coming down the pipe take you away from your perceived crown. Okay? Even if you got to go into death. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego walked into a furnace that was killing the people that was stroking it and getting it hot. Daniel walked into a den of lions that hadn't eaten and was fed in the process in a den with lions that hadn't eaten anything. The Lord closed their mouths. So he gonna bring it to you. He gonna bring either death or the situation of death to you. Scripture say some of us going to be martyred. It is what it is. But see, there's no vision, so they fear death. Death is just a transition. Yahweh Shah showed that when he died and was raised back up. So I hope that's edifying and uplifting for the hopeful elect. And maybe it'll wake somebody up to know that there is life after death. Okay? And this is the last time to go around for the Israelites. So if your family line goes back through the tribe of through the 12 tribes and those sons, you got immortality coming. If you're part of 144,000, you got that coming off top. if you're 2/3, you're going to be born into it. So, with that, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, the elder bishops out of Connecticut, the apostles that be moving around between Des Moines and Nebraska and moving, and Naptown. I send double honors because they do rule well. For the brethren around the world, push this truth uncut, unfiltered again, giving you the good, bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, breaking it down, declaring war, breaking them down, declaring war on the planet. Salutations. Hopefully, like to hope that's edifying. Few aquas, just listen to the chair to keep doing so, and for that whole first group, a hearty shalom, Shabbat shalom. But for the 2/3 Israelites and 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, just bragging on this motherfucking, this wicked man's kingdom and the money that, the bullshit that they making, because it ain't money, it ain't real wealth, or whatever the case might be. In the midst of it, to you and the 17 other nations, a ball.